right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Herald Times Presents Coffeetime. Going to go through a lot of the schedules and kind of what happened over the last week and what's happening this next week. So, Jared, go ahead.
So, boys, Cowboys Shootout, we'll start with that.
Yep.
It went good. We beat Lake County to begin the season on Thursday night. A nice 57-54 win.
Close.
A good one. And then we played Coleridge and on Friday night. It was a tough one, but they competed well.
Right. Well, Coleridge,
super stacked roster.
Yeah. I mean, they were state championship.
Seniors and juniors. And then we played Moffat County, and another great battle.
Right. And it's always good to play Moffat County on that. So we lost.
But it was close.
It's very close.
And then, so the girls had the week off, but now both teams are going to be headed to the Windsor Charter Showcase this weekend, which will take place December 19th and 20th.
Right, and we get to play, the boys get to play Lotus again.
Yep.
Lotus used to come here for the shootout. Yeah.
And Banning Lewis, too.
And Banning Lewis, right. And the girls, I think Estes Park and Banning Lewis.
Yeah.
Because I was always wondering where Banning Lewis was. So good luck
to them.
Absolutely.
Moving on to girls wrestling. They they had a North Fork triangular duel on Friday night. They lost to North Fork, but beat Monta Vista.
Okay.
And then they went to the Montrose tournament on Saturday. And they had 4 placers, 1 first, 2 seconds, and a 4th. And they took 4th overall as a team.
Man, that's not bad, because I'm sure Montrose had some bigger teams there. So to show like that, that's great.
Yeah. And it's known as like the Western Slope Showdown. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, big old tournament.
Right.
And they'll be on the road on Saturday when they go to the Warrior Classic.
Okay.
And then
and the Warrior Classic's the big one.
The big one.
Yeah, for Western Slope anyway.
The biggest one on the Western Slope.
Right.
And then moving on to the boys wrestling. They began their week on Thursday night in Cedar Ridge at it was a triangular duel for them. And they lost against Cedar Ridge, but they bounced back and beat Buena Vista. And then they went to the Montrose tournament, which took place December 12th through the 13th. And they had a 2nd place and 3 4th places. And
okay.
Yeah, a good weekend overall for all the sports. And then they'll be on the road at the Warrior Classic Friday and Saturday. So.
Yep. Warrior Classic. Yeah. Everybody goes.
Yep.
Cool. Well, good job, everybody. And, when we come back, going to be talking with high school boys basketball coach Klark Kindler. Today we have Coach A.D. Klark Kindler here with us. I don't know. Coach for now.
Coach for now.
Coach for now. All right. And we're going to ask you a few questions mostly about basketball. So, Jared, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So, Coach, thanks for coming on this morning. You're a few games into the season. How would you sum up what you've learned about this team so far?
Well, we found out it was kind of funny coming into the week. I thought one of our strengths would be our defense, and was a little bit worried about our offense. And in our first 3 games, it was kind of the opposite. I thought our offense was pretty good, and we've got a little bit of work to do on the defensive side, particularly some transition defense issues and a little bit of help side defense, understanding the team side of it. We were just getting there a little bit late, but those are all things that we can get corrected. So we made some strides, but it was kind of funny how what I thought was a concern turned out not to be concerned, where I thought our strength was. We got some work to do.
Gotcha.
And you mentioned, like, after the weekend earlier this week, that you liked how the team never quit. Like, where did you see that resilience the most?
Yeah, when kids grow up in Meeker, in all of our athletics, our kids are workers, and our basketball is no different. Our kids are not going to quit. They're going to continue to work. I really like that in the Friday game with Coleridge, is we were down 19 at the end of the first quarter, and I'm thinking, man, I don't want to get on running clock, and our kids battled the rest of the way. And even the officials afterwards said, that was a 20-point game in the fourth quarter, but it didn't feel like it. And, as long as your kids are battling, you're pleased. And I was very pleased with the way that how we worked. And, it was okay. We're probably not going to win this game. Most likely not going to win this game, but we're going to get better, and we're going to continue to compete.
Well, and that's kind of what the showcase is for. The shootout, sorry. Find your flaws.
Yeah, it is.
Figure it out.
Yes. And, we're going to be playing until early March this year, and holy cow, it's a big old long grind, and we weren't able to scrimmage this year to really see where we were at. And so these first 3 games are just kind of a gauge of, okay, here's where we're at, and here's what we need to work on. And, we've still got 20 games left to figure things out.
Right.
And speaking of the grind, that Lake County win was a grind, 57-54. What did that game tell you about this group early on?
Well, we came out and we really played well the first half, I thought. Had a 13 or 14 point lead, and then they went to a zone defense the second half, and we struggled, particularly in the third quarter. We struggled against it a little bit, and then we got lost in transition a few times and gave up some layups, and pretty soon they're back in the game. But we kind of answered the bell, and we made plays when we needed to, and made a couple stops there in that last, 20 or 25 seconds to get the job done.
And against Coleridge and Moffat County, what were like the biggest lessons you took away from that game, for those 2 games?
One, they're bigger schools, and Coleridge is good, and we knew they were going to be good. They went to the Final Four in 4A last year, and were right there at the end of the game, and they have quite a few kids back, and they're playing 10 seniors. And we're young, and I thought at times in both those games our youthfulness showed a couple times with some mistakes that we made, and that'll, with some experience, that'll take care of itself. But again, we competed. 2 minutes left, down by 10 against Moffat County, and we've got the lead down to 4, I believe, 2 different times, and got a tough call on a travel call, and had a 3-pointer spin in and out there with about 13 or 14 seconds left. So we were right there in almost completing that comeback.
And you said a little bit about you got a young team. So what? 1 senior, right?
We have one senior. 6 or 7 juniors, I can't remember how many. A couple sophomores and a freshman that are playing right now, and we've still got a couple open spots for some younger kids to move up. But and as a coach, I sometimes forget that too, that we are young, and a couple of the mistakes, you're like, doggone it, what are we doing out here? And then you're like, well, that's because there's not a lot of experience out there right now, and playing is where you get your experience.
Right. Yeah, you can only get so much done in practice.
Yes.
And you guys go to the Windsor Showcase this weekend. What excites you about heading into the Windsor Showcase like this early in the season?
We're going to play a couple more really good teams. Lotus was at our tournament last year, and everyone kind of knows about Lotus, and they were young last year, so they have a lot of kids coming back. And they're scrappy. I saw them play Monday night on NFHS, and It's this. They've got a new coach, but it's the same old Lotus. They're running around and trying to create chaos, and offensively they'll come down and shoot a lot of threes. And the next night or next afternoon against Banning Lewis, Banning Lewis is probably a top 5 team in the state right now. They've won a lot of games by 30 and 40 points. So, we'll see how we match up against a top 5 type team.
Where is Banning Lewis?
I believe it's in Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs, okay. I just couldn't remember where they were at. So,
and I guess my last question would be, you've been coaching here for nearly 3 decades. What still motivates you when you see like a young team like this?
As a coach, I always like to see what we can become. You know, at the beginning of the year, we're young. We've got a solid nucleus. We got good kids that listen. They're coachable, and I always like to see come March what were we able to become? What successes were we able to have, and what, especially with this group, what do we have to do to get better for next year when you're this young? What do you have to do to bring the younger kids along? But it's always what are we at the end of the year, and how are we playing at the end of the year?
and it's not just wins and losses.
Oh no, absolutely not. Years ago, when I'm taking my coaching class at Wyoming, we had a coach come in, and he said, the success of coaching, if you are talented, you will win. The success is when you were supposed to be 3-15 and you were 9-9 or 8-16 or 8-14, whatever. He says that is the success that you will find is, hey, we weren't going to be very good. We were able to win 5 or 6 more games than we were supposed to. And, as a 23-year-old college kid, you're like, oh, yeah, whatever. When you think you know everything, and then you start doing this, and you're like, man, that guy was so right. That it's what we all want to win state championships, and we all want to win conference championships, but it's how did we improve during the year, and did we make them better?
Right. Speaking about the conference, how does it look?
Roaring Forks brought back almost their entire team, so they're pretty good. They're obviously the team to beat. And then everyone else is kind of close. There will be some really good league games this year, some really good matchups, and no one really stands out above everyone in that kind of that second tier, so to speak. And so we're hoping to maybe knock off Roaring Fork, and that's always when you play to win. So we're hoping to knock them off and finish in the top 2 of the league at least.
Great. All right, so now I'm going to have you take off the coach hat and put on the actual CHSAA hat.
Okay.
All right, so new leagues, at least for football so far, has come out, proposed. I think they're voting it.
That is pretty much done. It has to go through legislative council in January, but legislative council is not. I've been on that for 4 or 5 years. They are not going to change that.
Okay.
There might be some proposals, some small proposals, but it is very unlikely that they would get passed. So the leagues that you have read about or the leagues that you have seen are pretty much what's going to happen.
So, and I want to talk. Our league has changed. I think the biggest proposal is Moffat County.
Right.
Coming down. Why is Moffat now in our league?
There is now, CHSAA has come out with criteria to play down. It used to be about 2 or 3 cycles ago, if you remember, everyone was getting to play down. All you had to do was write a letter, and, they were pretty much moving everyone down, and it was kind of like, okay, it's okay for this team to go down, but you are not going to, and there was no real criteria.
Like Gunnison.
Yes, exactly. You're exactly right. And then CHSAA has come out with criteria that if you win less than 10% of your grades in your classification over 2 years, you get to play down and still compete for the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
And Moffat County has met that criteria.
Great, which is actually kind of good for us. It's a nice rivalry.
It is, and it's close.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, holy cow! In our league, and particularly in the Western Slope, we really travel. So when you get a game an hour away, that's a good thing.
Right. Well, and we were noticing, we used to have Buena Vista in our league or Gunnison.
Yes.
Our farthest is Cedar Edge or North Fork now.
Right. It has shortened it up a little bit. You are exactly right.
That makes it good.
Yes.
A lot easier.
Yes.
So, well, good, because I know I've had a couple of people ask as to why. That makes a lot more sense.
You can always move down.
Right.
Like if you feel, hey, we need to be an 8-man football or we need to play down a class, you can always move down, but then you cannot qualify for the playoffs.
Okay.
Moffat County, though, has met the criteria to where when you move down, they will qualify for the playoffs if they make it in.
Gotcha. Because I did notice when they put out the thing, a couple of 2A teams, but they're in a 1A league.
Yes.
So that might be where they're playing down but didn't hit the criteria.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That makes sense. All right. Well, I don't think I have any more questions.
No.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming
anytime.
in. All right. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Great interview with Klark, as always. As always.
Always fun to have him on the show and here's insight on how the basketball team is and the updates and stuff.
Right. And he has such a unique perspective because he's been doing it for
so long.
23? I can't remember the years. He's been coach for a long time, so it's definitely a unique perspective on it.
Very unique.
Yep. All right, and next we have our Student of the Week. Jared?
Our Student of the Week was junior Corey Weber. He wrestled 138 for the Cowboys, and he placed second in Montrose. And overall, he has a 10-1 record so far. So congratulations to Corey, and keep up the great work.
Yep, congratulations, and good luck in the rest of the year, and good luck to all the rest of the teams as well.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you all next week.
Next week.